In today's Anime Rangers X video, I'm doing a full tier list for all the new units in the Tokyo Gold update because there actually is a lot of units. So you probably want to know which units are meta and which units are not. Now, I won't be including some of the new like epic units and maybe some of the legendaries just because they simply aren't going to be good enough to get on the tier list anyway. So just keep that in mind, and also keep in mind that if I make any changes to the tier list, it'll be in the pinned comment section down below because they might do some buffs and changes after I drop this tier list. So check the pinned comment and also maybe based on your guys' feedback. But before today's video start, please do subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers and it's been a goal of mine for a very long time. And whilst you're going down there to subscribe, please go join the Discord server down below because I'm doing some Anime Rangers content in there soon potentially if you guys do want it. But I'll stop yapping, like the video, and let's just get straight into it. Okay, so we'll go tier by tier, explain what is good about the new units, what the new units do, things like that. And then at the end, I'll let you know what new units to get, if you're a new player, what units to get in general, and things like that. So we got meat runners and good fodder. If you don't know what that means, they pretty much use them just to distract bosses and enemies. They're like one taps, but they're just very fast units. And none of them are really that rare. And obviously, Okurin has the evo. So yeah, that's pretty much what meat runners and good fodder is. Then we got C tier. Now, if C tier is a little bit incorrect order, I apologize, but it's just they're just bonds, okay? Even after the passive reworks, they're a bit better, but still kind of buns. Maybe some of them are better than Dio, but at the same time it's like a whole lot of effort for me to like decide which one is better for them all to be buns anyways. They're not gonna, you know, they didn't give like some stat buffs, it's just some minor passives. The only one I would say that had a decent one was maybe Beru or maybe Itadori, but at the same time, I don't know, just all buns, okay? They're all C tier for a reason. So if you're new to the game, don't summon for these guys. If you get them, just use them, but don't really, you know, give them too much material or anything like that, or gears. We got B tier. Now, the main standout from B tier, which annoyed me, is Juzo. Juzo, yeah, genuinely has quite the difficult evo, but it's so buns. Like, this unit needs a buff. I'm not gonna lie, this unit here, Stitchblade, it needs a buff. Because why is the evo so difficult to get, but it's so buns? It's so buns. Like, it might be better than, I don't know, like, I would low-key take Broly and Gojo over Stitchblade just because the evos are way easier to get. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, maybe I'd even take Broly over Stitchblade, to be honest, just because he's a tank. Like, Stitchblade is fast and does a bit of bleed, but that's about it. The health is lackluster, the damage is lackluster. Like, I'll low-key put him here, but I feel like some people would say he should be a bit higher, so I'm only putting it higher just for the glazers, I'm not gonna lie, for people that do like Juzo. But like, this person, the evo takes so long as well. It's disappointing, to be fair. It's disappointing. Then we've got Sakamoto, who's a new unit. I mean, it's just a battle pass unit. It's not bad, to be honest. For a battle pass, like, it's actually quite nice. I'll put him up here just for like in terms of to obtain, but at the same time you have to get all the way to 50, so maybe not. But yeah, there's not too much to speak about. If a new player, once again, yeah, a lot of these units got nerfed and fell off. Actually, Sukuna, on the other hand, is quite good, you know. Like, he's got, if you're a new player, he's pretty decent. He's got ability and whatnot. But yeah, there's not really too much to say about this tier, to be fair. It is just a little bit unfortunate, some of the balancing, because you've got these evo mythics all the way in B tier, and then you've got all these unevo mythics in A tier. Now, the only reason Tanjiro is so, actually, I don't even think Tanjiro should be so high. The only reason he's so high is just because he's so cheap. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, because Tanjiro is so cheap, and you can play so much of him, and he has an ability, actually, even though the ability is nothing crazy, that's why I've put him so high. You could argue for him to below, I wouldn't necessarily disagree, because like some of these guys towards the end do a lot more DPS. I mean, these guys don't even have evos, look, and they're actually quite good. I mean, Itachi does, but I mean, Void Mask is a new unit who I'd say is quite good, especially for new players. She's not that bad, I forgot her name, but she's from Sakamoto days, she's from the Battle Pass, she's not that bad either, but they're not really worth going into much detail about, other than maybe Void Mask. I highly recommend you get him. He has like quite a good passive, so yeah, go for him. Okay, so I don't necessarily fully know what Umbrella Fang does or Nagamo because I don't have him, but I've seen things like that as a support and that it does a hurt effect. So yeah, I know that's a bit dodgy, like, bro, but I know it's a support, so you know, just whack him in the support tier. I know it's not the best thing, but I don't have him just yet, and there's no showcases, but I know a decent amount of people have him. He does a hurt effect or something like that, and he's like 100% a support, I can say that. So whack him in the support tier. I heard he's pretty good though. Then we got Yuno, who's also a support, who does the freeze, whatever. Bunny-Go does the healing. And then the Sungji-Woo. Now, the reason why I put Sungji-Woo in support is obviously he does damage, whatever. But now he buffs units like Beru and Igris when he's there. So if Igris and Sungji-Woo are together in a round, whatever, then they buff each other. So, I mean, very nice. I mean, Sungji-Woo buffs him, but you get the point. Like, in my opinion, he's a support. And also he does his shadows, which can be used as fodder. So, I mean, yeah, you could consider him a support. If not, he'd be like high, like A tier. Maybe not at the top or anything, but he'd be pretty high A tier, to be fair. But now, we're getting to the serious stuff. We're getting S tier, and then we got SS tier, okay? Now, I made 2 S tiers, because the gap between the A units and the S tier units are decently high. And the gap between these S units and SS is, I would say, too high, but there is a difference. And I don't want to have too many units in the same tier. It just looks ugly. And it, yeah, it just looks a bit ugly. But S tier, we got Ace, Kaneki, Saber, and Igris. Now, even though Juzo is buns, Kaneki on the other hand has a double evo, but is actually good. Like, he's actually really, really good to the point where he might even get nerfed, maybe, because he's fully, I should say, he's actually a double evo, so maybe not. But he's fully AoE. The range on him is massive, and he does good amount of damage. That's pretty much it. Like, he just got massive full AoE range, and it does like a lot of damage. It's not much to say. If a new player, I highly recommend you get his legendary, and you get his double evo, even though that might take time. But Saber on the hand, that's definitely new player material. I mean, she's fast, she does damage, and yeah, she's just rapid and does damage. Like, there's not much to say, but she is very, very good. After she got a buff last update, and she got even more of a buff this update with a passive. So yeah, then Ace. Now, I think Ace is better than Kaneki. Some people tell me Ace is not better than Kaneki, just because, yeah, it does his burn. You can place multiple of him, and it's just nice to use. But I can see, like, the argument that Kaneki is better than Ace. But I would take, like, if I felt it was me, I'm taking Ace over Kaneki. That was crazy. But yeah, that's why I put him high on the tier list. Then we've got SS tier. Now, these are, you know, the best units in the game, alright? So, I'm going to be going for these units now. I just want to get one thing out of the way. Eto is really, really good, okay? It looks like I'm not, like, even though she's a range unit, that I'm saying she's buns. I'm not saying that. Her stats are quite good. She's full AoE, decent range, all of that stuff, yeah. But her main problem is her passive is so broke. No. Her passive is broken, right? But it only triggers if she's 30% or less health, which is really dumb in my opinion. Which just cooked her whole passive, because like it's just not that good if it's only for 30%. Because let's say you fight a boss, she might just get one. Like, obviously you're not gonna get one tapped, but like when she gets to the 30%, you know, HP, and then she just get one tapped after that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's really annoying that her passive is only triggered at 30% health. It's like, if she wasn't, it was like a little bit better. It should be up here. That's the thing, because she's fully weak. She does good damage, right? But it's not only, and then she also has 8-second ability cooldown. But it's mostly her passive, in my opinion. Like, it looks so broken, and then you just read that she can only use it when she's 30% or less health. So yeah, it's just a little bit cooked in that sense. But if not, maybe I could say she's better than Kara. I don't know. Like, it just depends, to be honest. But I don't, yeah, okay. But we'll go from the bottom all the way to the top. So we got Black Reaper. I'm pretty sure this is Kaneki, right? Just a different form of Kaneki. He's actually really, really good, and he gets buffed when he's running with Arima. If he's running with Arima, I'll take him over Marjorie, to be honest. But that's only if they're running together. Marjorie's just up there just because he's a tank, to be honest. His pass is quite decent. Gogeta, obviously, really, really good secret. Has a nuke ability, has high ability damage. You already know him, he's been out for a while, and he's just a good DPS. Eto just explained. Like, she genuinely is quite good though. Like, I just can't explain enough. Maybe I should like do this. Like, I move all these guys down. Oh, but like, okay, maybe I do like this. Maybe. Do I do that? I could do that, you know. This make a little bit more sense. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, I feel like, yeah, I'll keep it like this. And then we got Carrot. Carrot's also been out for a decent amount of time. You probably know how good she is, but if you don't, low SPA, cheap to place down, kind of expensive to max out, high ability damage. Also changed to AoE cone, which is why she's not as good, but she's still really, really good either way. And then Arima full AoE. All of his passives are quite good, to be honest. One of them's like a 20% chance to stun. Another one, like you do kills, and then it goes all the way, like, you know, 5%, and then it goes all the way to 100% to buff his damage. And then third one, I don't even know. I don't even have the unit, so I don't got his passives memorized. But yeah, it's really, really good. And then yeah, you got Yuta. Yuta's just the most broken unit in the game, bro. Like, His nuke ability is insane, and then he already has high DPS, high ability damage, full glaze, but he just is the best unit in the game. Like, I don't want to see any arguments, at least about Yuta, okay? Yuta is the best unit in the game. You can't even get him anymore if you're a new player wondering about that. But yeah, I would take Carrot over Arima, but with Carrot's AoE con change, nah, because Arima's full AoE. So yeah, this is the only one I'm like torn up about. Are we taking Etta over Carrot? That's the only thing. So if I make any changes to the tier list, I'll put in the pinned comment down below. But let me just put you guys on, if you're a new player, what units I would get. So the first units I would get is probably Saber. Saber's not too hard to evo compared to something like Kaneki, but it's also a mythic. So I'll definitely get Saber. Maybe Void Mask, because Void Mask doesn't have evo. I would definitely get Tundra the Epic and then evo him. That would be quite nice. And then when you start looking at secrets, definitely get Gogeta. Gogeta would be kind of annoying, so find like a Time Task macro for Ranger stages and then do that. Same for Madra. You could also sit in Time Chamber for Ace, and then once you have some of the units I've just mentioned, you'll be good enough to start farming for, you know, the top tier SS units other than Yuta, because they're not in the game. But yeah, a new update for this game should be releasing at some point this week. No, next week, I mean. For a boss event, I'm pretty sure, which is Sid, and I'm assuming Sid's going to be very broken, because if Yuta is a boss event unit and he's the best unit in the game, then we could only think at least the boss event unit will be very, very broken, if not one of the best units in the game. But yeah, I'll stop the glazing on Yuta. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more anime ranges and just content in general. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your opinions. Should I make any changes to the tier list? If so, check the pinned comment. I might have already made some changes. What's up, yapping? See you guys in the next video. Peace.